I'm sitting here with Jayson Naidoo, and he has entered the Lesedi Individual Award, working with the cause Acts of Love. Jayson, can you tell us a little bit about your Lesedi Awards entry?
Hi, Romy. Thank you for this opportunity. Acts of Love is a community-based, non-profit organization that provides needs and helps people in the communities across the country. And for me to be a part of this particular team and working with this team in the last 2 years now has been an absolute delight. Especially recently with the COVID-19 and the pandemic that we've all had, there's such a great need in many communities. Many have lost jobs, and it's been a tough time out there. A personal philosophy that I carry with me is the Gandhi statement of be the change you want to see in the world. And I believe that Acts of Love is an organization that is being the change that they want to see in the world. And I love their catchphrase, touching one person at a time. I think that for me really stood out because we can't change everybody. As Mother Teresa once said that, you cannot feed 100, you may not be able to feed 100, but you can feed one. So this organization and the work that they do and what they stand for, changing the world one person at a time through acts of love, really touched my heart.
Jayson, can you talk about a moment from your volunteering experience that stuck with you?
I think for me, it was very emotional. In South Africa and across our globe, there's such a high population of the poor. And with this pandemic, many have lost jobs. People have lost jobs in our country, and there is such a dire need. And the emotion that I felt just serving and being part of this and, creating the food hampers, we had to obviously be masked up and go into these large rooms and make sure we split across the room, filling in these bags. And I took a moment to reflect on what am I actually doing here and what impact will this have? Because I think with us that are fortunate, we have so much to be grateful for. And it was a reflection on my own self to say, I've got to be thankful and have an attitude of gratitude for everything that I have, having a job. And we're so blessed to be working for a great organization like Momentum. We haven't actually retrenched anybody even during this pandemic. So it really gave me a very emotional time. I came to tears to see that we had to pack grocery hampers for people that were such in dire need. And the moment of truth, if I can call it that, is when we handed out these hampers out to the needy. And you could see the gratitude in their eyes, and and people just queuing up for long lengths, especially during the December last year Christmas outreach that we did. There was like 500 or 600 people queuing up to come for a cup of soup and a grocery hamper that we gave them. So it really is, I think there's so much that we can all do. And I want to just take a moment to acknowledge my colleagues that are in the business that are giving back their time, their talent, their treasure, and their love for people. I sincerely believe that, our values are important. My value is light. I have a value called LIGHT, which stands for love, integrity, generosity, humility, and thankfulness. And the G for generosity comes into play in the situation of giving back. It talks about not only giving back money and wealth, but giving your time, your talent, your treasure, and your touch.
What impact do you think you've created?
So I think the impact has been small in my eyes, even though we've reached thousands of people to the food hampers, because the need is so great. But I believe in being the change that we want to see in the world. And it takes one person at a time to do that. Therefore, working with an organization called Acts of Love, where they are changing the world. I believe it. And this has been going on for more than 7 or 8 years that they've been doing this type of work. They started in 2009, actually 11 years that they've been doing this work. And we've supported them both financially and with our hands. I believe your hands are much more greater than the financial help that you can give somebody. And being personally involved in the day-to-day, together with my family. I must say that my wife and my 2 sons, I've got teenage boys that comes with me, and we go as a family and we serve the community. And the impact has been great. People's lives have been changed. There's a need for hunger, and we are solving it one person at a time. So that has been the impact that I've seen through the communities that we've touched.
Jayson, were you changed at all by this experience?
I must say I am changed every time I involve myself in being involved with this type of projects. It's been almost 20 years since we started in the community-based work that we do throughout our country. We do fundraise like volleyball tournaments to raise money for poor, and we do Christmas outreaches, and we buy, we get a Santa, and we do all these fun things. But every time you do this, it's a new experience. And it just motivates and, gives me so much inspiration to do more than we currently do. I've also started a project where I'm doing training in schools. I teach on financial literacy. I teach on student self-leadership is a new course that I'm busy rolling out in the next year. But these are type of things where it energizes me. It gives me a reason to live, I think. It's a reason for me to give back to the community. And I believe every single one of us are born with a generous heart and a generous spirit. We just got to activate it. And that's all I'm doing. So the impact on myself has been, it's just living out my dream. People always ask, what would you be remembered for? When it comes to the end of life, I believe I want to be remembered for somebody that gave back and lived a selfless life.
Fantastic. Jayson, good luck for the Lesedi Awards, and thank you for your time.